Hey guys, welcome back to my weekly videos. For this video for today, I wanted to talk about integrity, and I want to talk about how this is a quality that is so underrated. It's something that I've recently felt really convicted of, and I felt like, at first I kind of felt like there's no point in sharing it because everyone knows what integrity is and it's really common sense, until I realized that it really isn't, because there's just a lot of things that I've seen online and just within conversations of hearing certain things, I've realized that integrity is not something that is as highly valued anymore. And I just wanted to talk about why it's so important and why it's also a crucial aspect to bringing us more inner peace within ourselves. Okay, so I wanted to start off with the dictionary definition of integrity. So the first part being that it's the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles. And also in some of the definitions, it's actually not referring to like a personal character, but I think that no matter what, it applies. So it's saying the state of being whole and undivided, and internal consistency or lack of corruption. It says in electronic data. So obviously it's referring to integrity checking. But I'm like, that is so true for us as human beings, like internal consistency or lack of corruption. Okay, so the way that this kind of came about is this quote, this existing quote came to me, which is, "Who are you when no one's watching?" And it really made me question that for myself, even just little things. Like obviously everyone is on different scales. Like for me personally, little things that other people can probably relate to would be things like putting the shopping cart back. You know, when you're like, no one's watching, I'm just gonna like leave the shopping cart out in the parking lot. Or you go to throw something in the garbage and you miss, and then you just like walk away. Or like you drop like toilet paper on the bathroom floor, and you just leave it because you're like, I don't really want to pick it up. Also, no one's watching. However, if anyone was watching in any of those circumstances, I think a lot of us would act differently, even though it's something so small, just like picking up trash or putting the shopping cart away. Or even things like changing the toilet paper roll, or like putting a fresh towel in, or folding the towel properly when you're hanging it up, if like you have other people in your household that are living with you. I thought of it in a way, in these little things that are bad habits where we're just like, I'm not going to do that because I just feel lazy, I don't feel like doing it, no one's watching, it doesn't really matter. So I felt convicted in this area to be like, you know what, I don't want to be inconsistent in my actions, and I don't want to be a different person in front of other people. I want to do the right thing, and not just because someone's watching me. So this is a really small example, but also there's a lot of conversations that I've had with people, and I'm sure a lot of us have had this as well, where we kind of just do that whole like, what would you do if? What would you do if you found a briefcase of $10,000? Would you return it? What would you do if someone offered you this amount of money for this and no one would find out? And that's why I felt like this needs to be brought up, because there are so many people that truly think if no one would find out, then yes, I would do that. And obviously I'm human too, and I understand we're all human, and I understand that urge. But the thing is that I don't think it should matter if someone ever found out or if someone is watching. I think that we should be the same people, and I believe that that should be people of integrity. And again, these are small examples, but there are different levels. There are people, let's say right now, that are stealing money from a company that they work for, or they steal things from other people in general, or they lie or they manipulate. But the thing with that, and the reason why I really liked this definition when I came across it now, is internal consistency or lack of corruption, is because that was actually one of the points that I wanted to talk about, is that, let me try to say this correctly. If our actions are not incongruent with what we truly believe and what we know is right in our spirit, then that causes internal turmoil, and that can cause anxiety, and that can cause poor self-image, and that can cause lack of confidence. Because when you think about it, if we're doing things behind closed doors, and also I wanted to say that all of us make mistakes and do things that we regret and do things behind closed doors that we wouldn't want people to see, but it's a different story when you feel remorse about it and you don't want to be doing those things and you are making an effort to change it, as opposed to believing that it's okay because nobody's going to find out. It just makes logical sense that if we're acting in that kind of way, it can make us lose a certain respect for ourselves, and it can turn into, like, a lot of depression is self-hatred. It's literally hatred turned inwards. If we don't like who we are because of what we're doing behind closed doors, that can lead into depression, or we can have anxiety because, again, our spirit is like, that's not right. I don't stand for that. I don't believe in that. I know in my spirit that what I'm doing is not right, but I'm doing it anyways. So I think just taking an honest look at ourselves and saying, am I a person of integrity? It's not something to just answer right on the spot. I think it's something to just like ask the question, am I a person of integrity? And then wait for the answer. And it's not something to feel bad about and to feel like guilty and shameful about. I think that if we are feeling bad about what we're doing, then that is the first step, because we're recognizing that there's an area of our lives that we want to change, and that's the most important, regardless if we're slipping up and making mistakes, because we're always going to. But the point is that we're trying, and it's so worth it, because when you know that you are a person of integrity, I believe that we gain so much more peace, confidence, stronger self-image, purpose, all of those things, because we really know who we are and our character is stronger, and we have no reason or less reason to be hard on ourselves or condemn ourselves. I thought of the scripture that I wanted to read, which is Luke 8 verses 17, which is, "For nothing is hidden that will not be made manifest, nor is anything secret that will not be known and come to light." And that's not to make anyone feel bad or guilty. It's just something to think about and to consider and to apply to our own lives. And yeah, it's something that I felt convicted of in different areas of my life. Okay, so that's it for my video for today. Hopefully that provided some insight and that will provide something to reflect on. If you enjoyed this video and you think someone else would enjoy it, then definitely send it their way, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.